Hi everybody, it's Janet and I'm here for Craft Talking. It's Sunday, January 23rd, and I'm kicking it off today with this look at all these beautiful flowers. Look at all of this goodness in here. Is it amazing? These are, most of them are dimensional. They have a piece of foam tape in between the two identical images to make them have a little depth, and there is a complete and total full box of all kinds of different flowers. Oh, here's some, I guess, petunias. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff, and look how thick this box is. So this box is huge for holding something like this. It is about 11.5 by 10. And maybe some of you recognize what this might be. These are flowers that are part of the Anna Griffin line. I wanted to share with you that this week I ran into, quite by accident, a haul of Anna Griffin things from an estate sale. And I have spent the last 3-4 evenings going through it and consolidating stuff. I think there were 7 large containers that I got, and most of it is Anna Griffin. There were kits, parts of kits that are missing things, but some full kits, and all kinds of fun stuff like all these flowers. So I'm about half through everything, and in addition to all the flower making things, all the card making stuff like the card bases, mats, sentiments, flowers, and other decorations. I think that there's about 200 to 300 finished cards that came in this haul. And so I'm going to show you that, some examples of those in a minute. It's amazing, all the wonderful stuff that I got in this purchase. Before I go there though, I would like to share this hashtag SunCraftTalk. If you would like to participate in my Sunday, Sunday collaboration, you are so welcome to do so. Just type it in when you publish a video, or if you're going to put it in Facebook or Instagram, and then I can kind of pick it up and see what you're doing and maybe talk about what you're making as well. It's just a fun way to collaborate with each other. So let me show you some examples of the cards that came in this haul. This is, again, a minor number that I'm going to show you. It just gives you an idea though. So this is a pretty card, right? It's a birthday card, and when you open it up, it kind of explodes and there's this whole view inside. Isn't it fantastic? Love it. Cool. So there's one example. This is kind of a typical one where there is some pretty examples of these flowers being used. I think this is actually a border piece, and I did get some borders in there in the haul. And then it says, "With loving wishes." Here's another one, birthday greetings. This has, this pretty pink bow on it. And oh, this is one that actually I think she put on by mistake upside down. So if I'm going to use this one, I'll have to cut it in half and put it on. We've all made that mistake if we're making cards, let's be honest. And so this lady apparently made just a small error. But by and large, I found very little problems with any of these cards. There's even some masculine cards. This is a good example of that on your special day, and it happens to be an easel card. So it says, "Dad, you're awesome" inside. That cool? Such pretty papers, and that gold is so gorgeous. I got lots of these kinds of elements as well. I mean, hundreds probably of these. It's incredible. And then even some kind of child type cards. "Happy birthday to you" inside, sending warm and loving wishes of happiness and cheer and everything you need to start another happy year. So that's pretty cool. There's probably 20 of those that have this very childlike theme to them. So So it's not just flowers. You've got a few extra things like that in here. And of course, like the masculine cards don't have much for flowers either. And then here's another fun example of a sort of a fancier card. It's a stand-up sort of step card. So it's what it looks like in the front. Happy birthday. You can see it's got this step scenario going on so that when you set it up, it sets up nicely to be displayed. And then the back is with love from all of us. So wonderful cards. Then in addition, I would say of the 250 to 300 cards, I think about 100 are Christmas cards. So this is an example of one of those. May your days be merry and bright. Pretty incredible. So I've been going through the boxes, sorting it all out, and I have already been selling some things like the card kits and things that were complete. Unless I really love them, I put them up on Facebook Marketplace, and I've already sold more than I paid for this lot. So it's going pretty well, and I think I'm going to probably quadruple the money that I put into it, if not more. We'll see. But again, I didn't really buy it to make money on it. I didn't realize when I bought it how much there was. And so there's just only so much you can use personally. So I'm going to be donating a lot of cards. I'm going to take some over to a retirement home for, they're not wealthy people necessarily. And there are people there that don't have family anymore. And so the staff like to get cards to give to them when they have their birthdays and things, just so they get something. Because it's really sad when these poor people don't get anything or any recognition for their birthday. So the staff tries to help them out. And so I'm definitely going to do some of that. I'm also going to see about maybe putting some in specialty shops in my area to see if they would sell them, if the shops would take them to sell. Because at this point, any cards that I would sell is 100% profit because I've already made up what I put into the lot to purchase it. It's not something I normally do. I don't spend the time to try to do that, but it's like it was meant to be, a sort of providence. It just sort of fell in my lap. I didn't realize what I was getting until I actually came to pay for it. And it's just incredible. In fact, I gave the person who was selling it, which happened to be the daughter of this lady who passed away, an extra $50 for the lot than what they asked, because I just felt like it was way too little money for what it all was. And I hadn't even really gone through it to see, because there were so many boxes. You know, I just opened one or two and went, yeah, you know, I'll even give you a little more because it's deserving of that. So anyway, I'm not keeping a ton of it, but some things that I am keeping are like this. I was pretty excited to see a complete box of sentiments for sympathy cards, because I always struggle with sympathy cards. In fact, I think they're worse than masculine cards for me, because I just don't know what to write, and nothing ever seems adequate to me. But these are some lovely sentiments. And they're so beautiful that I thought these would be great to use in sympathy cards. I do need to make some and have some on hand. I'm currently out of them, unfortunately. So this is an example of something I'm definitely keeping. And then I ran into these too. Now these were in a Valentine's Day kit, or not a kit, but there were like several different types of these beautiful golden embossed shapes. These are wings that you take a scissor and just cut them out. They are 100% paper, but they're just very heavily gilded. These are called Dresden die cuts. They're something that Anna Griffin has brought in to her line, and they're made actually in Germany. I think the original style this probably was in Dresden, Germany, because they're called Dresdens, but they're made elsewhere than Dresden. And in the package it says these are made actually with machines that are at least 60 to 300 years old. It's such an old art. And I'm pretty sure they're not doing it in Dresden, because Dresden was carpet bombed so badly during World War II. I'm sure that any machinery like this probably was destroyed. But of course, that doesn't mean that other pieces of machinery didn't survive or did survive in the war, and obviously they did because they're still making these beautiful pieces. So this actually came in a Valentine's Day Dresden die kit purchase that she had, and there were hearts and single hearts and double hearts with an arrow through it, and then these, of course, but I thought these would be beautiful on sympathy cards, so I pulled these out. I'm not selling these, and I'm going to store them with these and hopefully use them together to make some pretty sympathy cards, and use some of the flowers that I got and so on. So this has 50 three-dimensional stickers in it. This doesn't have 50. This has 21 of them, but still, I'm going to definitely make some for the stash. So let me show you what else I made this week. This one was for Art Impressions, and it says Another Year Older right above it, and this is an interactive card. If you open it up, it's got a little wheel thing you can turn with your finger. It's just a little mechanism that comes in the stamp kit. And when you open it and turn it, she actually rides her bike. So it's super fun. This is really simple to make. It's a relatively simple mechanism, and I love that it's a little different. And you can just fold that flat and shut it, and it's perfectly flat, other than the little brads. And this kit is, when you buy the stamp set, it comes with the dies to cut out the legs and the tire, and of course it has the Stampin' dies to make the turning mechanism, and it also comes with a whole bag of several, I think about a dozen, there might be, I think it's 12 mini brads, so you can make several cards before you have to look for more of them. But I thought this was fun. Another Year Older right above it. Again, this is not a new stamp, it's something that's been in their line for a while, and they have, I think, 6 or so of these turning mechanism cards in their line, and this one is just the one that I thought was the most fun for me personally. I had a lot of fun coloring her up as well. For Eyelet Outlet, I put this on the blog this morning. This one is a pretty card, I think. I used a Cottage Cuts die to cut the trees, and then the background is wide washi tape. It's called winter washi tape, glitter winter washi tape, and it just gives that a neat look back there, like it's a whole field of trees in the background. I've got the 2 little moose brads here, and I made a frame for the scene and put this beautiful bright red cardinal on it. And the cardinals, you often think that's for Christmas, but I think just for winter cards, they're very nice. The other thing I did is I used some of their long fancy bling. This is called Jewels and Pearl Bling, and I put it in where the trees, or sorry, where the snow was, just to give it a little more fanciful feel for that snow. And it's more bling too, so you can never go wrong with that, right? At least not in my book. I love the bling. It's terrible, actually. I inherited that from my grandmother. She loved everything shiny, and I do too. And this is a card I made for people at my church. It's a thank you card. We actually had, I needed to make 8 of these. I made 10 and gave 8 to my church to give to people within the church, some of the staff and others. There was some bonus money that was provided by the congregation, and I think that money, along with a note of thanks, was put in these cards. So I'm really happy that I was able to do that. And it just opens up. I have a liner in there, and it's simple. This is a super old stamp from Stampin' Up! That has the thank you on it, and I really wanted to just do something simple and quick, but I think it really turned out nice. It's not too feminine, and it's not too masculine, sort of in between, and gave them lots of room to write in here whatever the pastor wanted to put in. So, all right, well, that is everything today. Again, Thanks for joining me. It's so fun to share some stuff with you. Don't forget to share your work and put Suncraft Talk in it. And we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody. Take care.